smallmouth bass? A smallmouth bass. All I needed was a fucking walleye. Cue the damn music! Hello everybody and welcome to the PentaPERSPECTIVE of Stardew Valley, my gaming critique series where I critique a game for you guys and tell you it's not exactly a review, but I tell you what I like about the game, what I dislike about the game, why you should buy it if you should buy it, and if you shouldn't buy it, why you shouldn't buy it, and all other sorts of fun, fantastic things that flew off the top of my dome at the miles a minute. Let's jump into Bucket Farm. Gamepad mode activated. We don't need a gamepad. Get the... Ah, shit. This is not the way to start a video. Son of a bitch! Anyway. Thank you for your patience. This is my home. This is my lovely abode. First and foremost, what is Stardew Valley? Well, Stardew Valley is a game developed by one single man over at Concerned Ape. And basically it was his dream to create a game much like that of Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, a game that is a country life simulator that fits in the modern times. And what he did, shut the fuck up, phone! And what he did was basically everything he set out to do. He spent the last 4 years developing this game. This game came out earlier this year. It came out a couple months ago. And it ruled my life for about 3 weeks. As you can see, this is actually my second file. I started a second file and didn't redo everything, but I started over because I realized that throughout my first year on my first file, I made a ton of mistakes. I'll be doing a tips and tricks video on this game at some point. I'm working on it. Trust me, it's gonna come. Don't worry, it'll be coming out, to give people that are coming into this game new a little bit of information that they may not know going in. No spoilers or anything, of course, but just some tips and tricks, as my series is known to do. But anyway, back to the critique. I started over because I made a ton of mistakes early on in the game that I didn't realize. Like, for instance, some of these level 5 skills that I picked them just off the whim. In fact, one of them on my first file I picked accidentally by clicking it. It was a bad idea. So what is Stardew Valley? Stardew Valley is a country life RPG, much in the likes of Harvest Moon, with a lot of Rune Factory influence that a lot of people discredit because Rune Factory isn't as well known as Harvest Moon, which I find kind of insulting because it's like, come on, man, Rune Factory is better than Harvest Moon. Yeah, Harvest Moon has a lot more entries, but Rune Factory has more soul. But they're both respective and completely understandable why you would like one or the other. I grew up on Harvest Moon and I started playing Rune Factory at a late age, in my late teens. Actually, I think I was 19 when I played the first Rune Factory game I played, which was Frontiers, and it was the most insane 290 hours of my life. So yeah, this game takes everything good about those and brings it into this game. And so we're gonna navigate the menus a little bit, because I'm pretty sure if you know what Harvest Moon is, you'll know what this game is about. There's no need to do some big 5-minute synopsis on it like I'm already doing. As you can see, I'm a rancher. My name is Dr. Sir, and this is my leveling stat system. You can do farming, mining, foraging, fishing, and combat. These are all things you can level up and upgrade throughout the gameplay by doing these things. Every time you do something, think of when Skyrim first came out. You do something, it goes up in stats. You do something else, that goes up in stats. Very similar to what you're doing here. The more you fight, the more your combat goes up. The more you forage, the more your foraging goes up, and so on and so forth. As you rank up, you get better. As you can see, my farming, I have a plus 10 hoe efficiency and a plus 10 watering can efficiency. That's such a tough word for me. There's too many F's. But that's incredible because it's plus 10. You get plus 1 for every level. What that means is it basically, as you can see, your energy, if you're familiar with these types of games, you know your energy. Like Farmville, Harvest Moon, any game that has farming in it, you generally have an energy meter to limit you on what you can do during the day. By upgrading and leveling up your farming, mining, foraging, fishing, and combat levels, you use less energy by doing things. So at plus 10, I use a ton less energy, which we'll just showcase here by taking out my mining axe, as I call it. If I just hit shit, that's 3 times. I only lost 6 energy. That's 2. Wait. I only lost 4 energy. That's only 4. That's, geez, yeah, that's a lot less than I thought. And my energy is, you don't start out with 372 energy, let's face it. I got a lot of, upgrades to level that up. But anyway, you can see in here, every 5 levels, you get to choose a skill, one of 2 skills that greatly alter the way you play the game. Some of them, it's actually a monumental decision in your gameplay, because like the mistakes that I made on my first file, because it's like, do I want my fish to be worth more, or do I want my crab pots to get more? And it's like, you have to wrestle with yourself, because it forms the way you play the game. Because if you choose to be a fisherman, you want to actually fish and prioritize fishing more than you would want to prioritize trapping fish. And then, of course, at your max level, you get some huge bonus, which is like, for this, all crops grow 10% faster, which is monumental. Imagine a crop that takes 10 days to come to full harvest. It now only takes 9 days. That greatly changes the gameplay. Angler, fish are worth 50% more, stacking with the 25% I already had. So all my fish are essentially 75% more valuable. Over here to our social thing, if you're familiar with these types of games, you know what this is. These are the people in the game, and all of these people I'm allowed to grow and really grow a friendship and a relationship with, and some of them, the ones with single, obviously, I'm allowed to bone. And we all love boning, so why not just bone with everybody? And currently I'm in the process of boning 3 girls. I'm not going to use the word bone because I'm grinning right now. It makes me feel very bad. I sound like a dirty old man, and I'm only 25. I'm not supposed to sound like that. Anyway, you can grow a relationship and eventually fall in love with these girls. Or guys. Like, no judgment, of course. I was actually... Funny story, if we go down on my first file... There he is, Elliot. On my first file, I thought Elliot was a girl, so I started talking to him, and I gave him a gift right away without even knowing who he was, and he got a heart right away. And then I found out he was a guy, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make Elliot fall head over heels in love with me because he's so handsome. And he is handsome. The guy's got a stunning hairlock, gorgeous chin line. I'm not gay at all, and I support LGBT rights. I'm not gay at all, but that man is a handsome man. So I was like, I got him up to like 6 hearts, and we went on a couple of events and whatever. But anyway, social aspects are not new at all to this genre of gaming. So I'm sure you already know what it is. But here you can see we are able to give 2 gifts per week, which I think is kind of generous, and it shows you if you've already given a gift, which I think is also nice, and one of those things that isn't in the other games that I mentioned. This is one of the many things in this game that completely changes the way the game works. Because Harvest Moon and Rune Factory don't have those little things that would make the game instantly more accessible. So we go out here and we can see my farmstead, my homestead. I pretty much laid it out almost exactly how my last farm was, except I moved my actual, like, lots of farming crappy things over a bit and then built the farm animals here. It used to be my stuff was, like, right here, and I gravitated to things a little bit differently than I did in my last file. But I have a grove of trees, I have all my preserving jars, I have my furnaces. Like, there are so many things you can do in this game. I have a puppy. I mean... So, now that I've given you a brief showing of like the menu system, the social aspects, leveling system, the RPG aspects of it, and the synopsis of the game, let's move into just the gameplay. Like, what is the gameplay of Stardew Valley? If you've played any of those games, you're very familiar with the style of game this is. You farm, you fish, and you mine, you make money, you develop relationships with people, and eventually, well, you just become like a happy farmer. Like, there is really... Okay, I shouldn't say there isn't really an end goal, because there is an end goal, and we'll get into that when I start talking about the things that I'm not very happy about with this game. Let's stick on the positives of the gameplay. The gameplay is fantastic. It plays exactly like you would want it to play, like those other games, except it, like I said, it adds so much more that doesn't exist in those other games, and I feel bad saying that because I love Rune Factory and Harvest Moon with every bit of my heart. Like, those franchises are huge to my childhood, huge to my current, life. But what Concerned 8 did was he took those and he refined them down into exactly what people wanted them to be. without all the hassle, but it was still fun and engaging to play. And that's exactly what Stardew Valley does. The luau has begun. Oh my god. I forgot today was the luau. Anyway, I'm just gonna harvest all these blueberries because it's so much fun. The simple act of harvesting blueberries should never be this fun in a game, but the fact that it is makes it that much better because you could just drag your mouse across the shit and it's just like blueberries falling at your feet. Now I have like 700 blueberries. More like 250, but I had like 700 blueberries. Leave me alone in my fantasy. So you can see I actually have a like highly upgraded watering can, so I can water like huge plots at a time. You don't start out like that. You start out pretty bare bones like you would expect in a game like this, but the gameplay grows you as a farmer to the fact that let's make some orange wine. No, I don't want to eat the orange. I want to make some orange wine. Thank you. And let's get on my horse. Let's actually go pet the cows real quick. The game grows you as a player just like you would expect it to in a game like this, because it's not a matter of you just starting out really poor and on this shit farm that's covered in random bullshit and you feel terrible about it, because it grows you. You get all your tools right away and it's like, okay, here's an axe. What do you think you should do with this axe? And you're like, oh, well, there's a bunch of logs all over my farm. Maybe I should go chop them down. The game doesn't tell you to do that. It's just like you decide to do that because you want to better your farm. And oh, the music. Here it is. We'll get into the music in a little bit because the music in this game is fantastic. We'll talk about the music when we talk about the music. For now, gameplay, as you can see, I'm just riding around on a horse. There's all this kind of stuff. And what you would not expect in a game like this, because it hasn't really happened in other games, is I can just go into random places and chop down their trees. And butterflies come out of it. And just the satisfaction of cutting down a tree, seeing a bunch of stuff explode out of it, and hearing the delicious sounds of picking it all up. That is one of the most satisfying parts of this game's gameplay, is the fact of just chopping a tree down and just soaking all that, it's gonna sound weird, soaking all that wooden sap in, right? Sounds bad, I know. And then we could fish. I'm actually a really good fisherman. Let's ignore that green algae. I'm actually a really good fisherman. Oh, wow, the junk is real, man. But you don't just start off like really rich and loaded with money and loaded with like trees and groves. You have to fight your way from the bottom and grow your own, plants and crops. And I got a pike. And like, sure, there's a lot of ways to make money in these games. Like, for instance, foraging is one of the best ways to make money early on in the game. Like, hands down, collecting all that stuff, you always want to keep one of each thing, just a little bit of information. You always want to keep one of each, just because you never know what it could be used for later on. And you want to just sell everything. Like, it doesn't matter if you're selling wood, sap, grass. You want to sell everything right away just to get that little bit of pocket change so you can buy your seeds. Because once you start rotating seeds and rotating crops, it becomes a lot easier to finance your farm and to finance your ability to buy 3 cows and 2 goats, or 2 cows and 3 goats, whatever. I think I had 3 cows and 2 goats. And it becomes a lot easier to do that once you have that circulating, rotating crop. For lack of a better phrase, the crops circle. And so I'm just going to sell... Oh, wait, no. Sell everything with a silver or gold star, just because that's the way I roll. I'm going to sell that stuff. We're going to sell those. I think we're going to keep one of our cabbages, just because we're going to sell the beer. I don't really need the money. I just sell the stuff because I can. And because it's for the video. Chances are you guys won't care what I'm selling. But, oh, that's not what I meant to do. But the gameplay teaches you to play the way you want to play, and it doesn't force you to play anyway. Which is... Stardew Valley is one of Stardew Valley's strongest points of interest, is the fact that grows with you. And it sounds weird when you say it like that, but it really does grow with you because the game slowly teaches you. You have as much time as you possibly could think of. Like, you have as much time as possible. The game realistically ends after your 3rd year, but that's still a long time. I'm currently in the summer of my 2nd year. If I remember correctly, am I in the summer of the 2nd year? I think I'm in the summer of 2nd year, yeah. And this file is 50 hours. And I'm already there. I know there were grapes back there. I don't care about the grapes right now. This is for a critique video. I'm not even trying to play well. Let's go talk to Lewis. The dirty bastard. The game has lively people. One of my first biggest complaints about this game is that the writing is pretty poor. And I do understand that he's changing that all. He actually is adding a lot more writing. He's adding a lot more scenarios for characters, which is great. I absolutely love that. But when I first started playing this, just like a week after it came out, it was pretty bare bones. There were a couple of cute little lines here and there, but it was pretty much just, I won't say cringy kind of dialogue, but it was like, yeah, okay, just click, 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 skip through the dialogue, give me the frickin' plant, you know, whatever. It doesn't engage you as much as you would like it to in most games. But realistically, all games of this type have always kind of been that way. They've always been very bare bones on the dialogue because it was more so about just like growing plants and stuff. Abigail, talk to me.
If I knew how to use a sword, I would be exploring those caves by the mountain lake right now. It's probably nice and cool in there.
She's a freak. Not like in the bad way. She's like a
super freak, yeah.
That's the kind of freak she is. I almost felt like I didn't even know who she was until I had already started falling in love with Penny and Leah. But Abigail is the girl I would have chosen because she's like, I'm just gonna eat rocks like the rock biter and freaking Never-Ending Story and sit on this bridge and talk about gloomy shit. That's my type of girl. I don't really have a type of girl, but if I had a type of girl, it'd probably be Abigail because she's got purple hair, and purple's my favorite color. But like, the game has interesting writing at some points. Like, a lot of the lore and story is really cool. Was he just pissing in that bush? Demetrius, were you just peeing? Were you peeing in that bush? Were you all surprised because I came up on you while you were peeing in the bush? Let's check the bush. You were peeing in there, buddy. You were peeing in there, man. Come on. You're better than this. Hey, what are you doing? Is he... Oh, no, he's bugging out. He's actually trying to walk through the bush to the bench. Let's just enjoy this, because this is one of the little downfalls of this game, is there are several bugs in this game. Let's watch him. Let's just check him out. Damn it, he's not going to do it. He might end up doing it again, but I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes. One of the men... Oh! Maru and Penny, both ladies of my love. Take my sweet pea. This is a super gift, thank you. Maru is so adorable. Sorry, I was just thinking about some gadgets I'm making. Wait, I've decided I'm going to reel the robot someday. That should be very easy for you. You should be more realistic. Sounds challenging. Yes! Really? Are you sure you're not just trying to flatter me? I'm trying to flatter the fuck out of you, lady. I want to play with your hair and give you back massages and romance. 50 Shades of Grey. No, not 50 Shades of Grey. I wish I could keep a garden, but our garden is such a mess. I have a poppy. That's like one of her favorite gifts. So if I talk to her, oh, she's purple. 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10, IGN, Penny, you're the best. Oh, Penny's such a sweetheart. But there are so many people to choose from to talk to in this game, and not even just people that you can, you know, pursue as a relationship, but just people that you can gain a great friendship with. For instance, what the fuck is his name? Willis? Wallace? Willie the caveman. Willie the homeless guy. He... Right here. Oh my god, I love this guy. Linus! It wasn't Willie at all. Willie's the frickin' fisherman. Oh, Willie's the fisherman. Linus, man. It's been like a month since I played this game, guys. Just calm down. Linus is a frickin' sweetheart. Like, he's got a heart of damn gold. He is the Fred Flintstone everybody wants and needs. Let's stay on gameplay real quick because I'm going to show you guys the mines, if you guys don't mind. Ha! Ba-doom-tsh. But we can go in the mines, which you unlock very early in the game. And we'll just go to floor 60. Why not? And in these mines, obviously they're randomly generated. And you basically just fight stuff. Mine ores and gold and... It's everything you would expect if you played any games like Rune Factory, especially, is the one that I keep coming to mind to, because it was the one that I feel did it the best. I feel Rune Factory, you know, personified and made the RPG aspects of combat and, like, dungeon crawling so good. Oh, that was a really good one. It was an Iron Ore and Omni... No, 2 Omni Geodes? Fuck yeah! Frozen Geodes. Oh my god, we're getting all the loot. I love loot. What am I gonna say? I'm not fishing for this shit. What are you talking about, drunk? Go home. Anyway. The exploration of the mines is somewhat basic, but I feel that the way that they do it and the way that it puts itself forward, I'm trying to be really careful with what I say because I don't want to sound like I hate the exploration of the mines, because I actually really do like it. But it feels almost like you're trudging through just floor after floor after floor, just hoping to get to that odd number, so you get, or that next like interval of 5 or 10, so you can get your next piece of loot. And I hate the feeling that it feels like that, but that's kind of what it feels like. I, however, played through it and I enjoyed every floor I was on, unless I passed out and lost all my inventory. But that's just because I'm a rageaholic and I hate when things bad happen to me. But other than that, the combat is pretty much what you would expect. It's, you know, you swing, they get hurt, they die, you get loot, you move on. You eventually make it down to the end of the mines where there's a secret surprise waiting for you, and I will not spoil that, seeing as I've already beaten the mines. But I will not spoil anything for you, so we'll leave the mines. That's basically the mines. Obviously, I'm actually going to leave that area out of the video, because I don't want to spoil too much with this video. Where did I leave my horse? Where is my horse? Is my horse up by Linus? Horse! Horse! Where's my horse? I parked my horse right next to the mine. I swear I parked my horse right next to the mine. Horse! Ha! Here you are. So yeah, we got Bartholomew, my doggy, and Odin. Odin, son of Zeus. He's not actually the son of Zeus. But, yeah, I mean, the gameplay is pretty much what you would expect. It's really hard to talk about, like, to critique the gameplay of this game, because I feel like I'm talking about 4 other games. But, moving on, I know there wasn't a whole ton I said about the gameplay, but trust me, the easiest way to say this, and I feel like every other critique video I've seen on this game or heard on this game, or even, you know, people that I watch on YouTube that have talked about this game, the easiest and most frank way to say it is, did you like Rune Factory? Did you like Harvest Moon? And if the answer to that question is yes, Stardew Valley is going to be your favorite game on the PC from a Farmville, or not Farmville, Jesus Christ, from a farm sim style of game, because it is everything you want from that game and more. Moving on to the art style, we'll just let it sit here for a second. You can see that even the nighttime art style, I'm wearing a glow ring, by the way, but if I take the glow ring off, you can see that the art style is dark. Like, it's dark at night, so I can barely see these grapes over here. But I know they're there because I saw them earlier. But, like, oh my god, the freaking particle effects and the steam. It's such a pretty game for being pixel art, and that sounds rude. Yeah, for being pixel art, you're pretty good looking, but no, for being pixel art, I mean, it's oversaturated style of art nowadays, but it's really good looking, like, for what it is. Let's make a grape wine, because I just have a grape on me. The art style is fantastic, though. Like, beyond words for me, because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Just look at this game. Look at it. From just the little details on the trash can and the shading and the details outside in the shadows where you can see the the disparity in color. It's so good. It's so well designed. You can tell that he took his time making this game. You can tell that it was something that he actually genuinely cared about and wanted to make look good. It's hard to talk about the graphics in a bad way, even though it is pixel art, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just another pixel art game." Yes, it is. Do we need a ton more of them? Probably not, but are you going to really complain about somebody's choice in art style? If so, you should probably reevaluate your decision making. Big thing you want to try and do in this game is goddamn organize, and I'm terrible at it. I don't remember where half my stuff is all the time. I'm going to put that in there. Because I don't care. I'm not organized as all. Let's go to bed. Hi, puppy. I pushed my puppy. I'm a savage owner. I missed the luau. Who cares? We'll go to bed. I believe going to bed saves the game. We're level 9 combat. We learned the iridium band recipe, which is fantastic because I haven't even like found a proper way to mine iridium solid. Word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Efficiently. That's the word I'm looking for. The word I was having trouble with earlier. So as you can see from our farming, we gained $13 million. That's a lot of millions. Oh my god. I feel it's really hard video for me to make because I'm actually getting excited playing this game again, and it's dangerous because I'm trying to play Dark Souls 3. And I'm not going to have you guys get me addicted to this fucking game again, so shut your mouth. What are we going to talk about next? Oh, this is perfect time to talk about because this music is amazing. I'm actually just going to let you listen to this music as I walk around because it's one of my favorite songs in the game. The music is fantastic. The music is so good, guys. I actually have this soundtrack, the entire, I don't have the entire soundtrack. I have like 34 of the tracks on my MP3 player right now, and I listen to it on occasion, actually. Like, I wouldn't say it's a daily listen, but I would say like every once or, every week or so, I'll play through like 30 or 40 of the songs. 30 or 40 of the songs. 3 or 4 of the songs, I'm trying to say. Dude, horse. Thank you. Odin is a bit of a dickhead sometimes. Oh, I have a thingy. Oh. Alright. Yeah, get out of here. The music in the game, the sound design in the game is just superb. Like, you can hear the footsteps of the horse right now. That's on cobble. Wait if I go on grass. Dirt. Back on grass. Back on cobble. Just the little details like that make the game so much better to me. If a developer takes the time to make different sound pathways for whether or not your horse is walking on or galloping on sand or tiles or marble, it feels like it's that much more loved, because it's not like, well, we could just, have the horse make this sound the whole time. No, man, you gotta feel it in your heart. You gotta feel it in your bones. Do I have my hoe on me? I do. Let's get these twigs, these worms. I got an anchor. There's a lot of dispute going on whether or not those are worms or twigs. The developer himself said they were twigs, but the community likes to call them worms. So for my sake of this video, we're going to call them twigs, because I don't go with the majority of people. This beach is hugely important to new players. This is something that you need to fund getting opened up right in the beginning of the game, because there's a lot of early game money happening over on this side of the beach. It's only 300 wood, so that's like clean up your farm for 2 days and you're good. But listen to the waves. Listen to the way that the game just sounds for a second. I know I just had you guys listen, but listen again for just a second. It's so calming. This is not the game you want to go to. This isn't your Bloodborne. This isn't your God of War. This isn't a game you want to go to have fun and just death, chaos, blood, incest. No, this is the game that you want to go to relax. This is an after work game. You had a stressful day at work. You know, you're a waitress and you didn't get very many tips and one of the guys smacked you on your ass. You didn't like it very much. You did a little bit, but not very much. And you just want to go home and relax and play a game where you grow turnips. This is the game you want to play. This is the game you want to go home because it's serene. I think my grass is dying. I don't care about my grass right now. It's just the simple thing of this. Listen. I love it. I love it. I got my musical notes and drums over here. I love it. I love every second of it. And you'll get to the point in the game, trust me, you'll get to the point in the game where you have so many things and so much money, you don't even care about the fact that that stuff is worth money. All of this shit could septuple that money right there. But moving on to the next big part of the game I want to talk about, which I was trying to find a segue for it, and this being back at the house found me the perfect segue for it because I can go right into the community center. This is the biggest part of the game. And this was the biggest mistake I made on my first file because I completely avoided this. In fact, I didn't even know it was there for the first season and a half of the game. Like, freaking Lewis brought me there and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I never went back. I was just like, we'll go back there later. And I just kept farming and fishing and farming and fishing and trying to bone Penny and farming and fishing and trying to bone Leah and then farming and fishing. And I eventually walked in there and I'm like, oh my God, there's all this stuff I can do. And there is a ton of stuff to do because every one of these things is just a different bundle of things that you can do. And the ones that I'm showing you here are only the ones I have left because the other 4 or 5 I've already done. There are so many things to do in this community center that it's vital for you to just focus on getting those done because they each unlock something new. Like this one unlocks the glittering boulder that gets removed. This one's friendship. I don't know what that means. Probably because this one's the hardest one to do, because you gotta get a frickin' duck. There's my cabbage. Did I sell the cabbage? I didn't sell the cabbage, did I? I need 3 apples. My apples are gonna be in season next season, so I'm good for that. I don't even know what a fiddlehead fern is. Truffles, I need pigs. Fried egg, I need to cook. Maki roll, I need to cook. And a poppy, I already did. Poppy and maple syrup. There are so many things in the community center to do that it adds so much depth to game that it's almost impossible that within your first 2 seasons, you're going to get it all done. In fact, out of everybody I've seen play this, or friends that have played this, myself included, just about finished their second year and had like 1 or 2 things left to do. You can also get quests and requests every day. That's the calendar. You can also get quests every day that people put out. These are tied to mostly achievements and getting to know people. For instance, by completing quests, people start liking you more, etc., etc. Willie wants a quartz from me. We'll just accept it because chances are I'll forget that it's there. Odin. I love this song. This is the sun bends the orange. I think that's the name of the track. Either way, it's a fantastic track. God, I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I'm so lost. I'm trying to commentate to this game and what I feel about it, but it's so hard because I just want to play. But I think the easiest way that I can jump into something next is to talk about another one of the things I don't like about the game. And I feel like this is a good balance because one of the major things I don't like about the game is that the controls are a little wonky. For instance, there is no easy way to really aim your guy. I mean, it looks like it aims pretty properly with the red square, but it doesn't always obey where that red square is. For instance, if I'm over here and I do this, it aims there. But if I'm over here, it aims there. Pretty simple, right? Yeah, but that can screw you over pretty well because every time you do that, it wastes energy, time, etc., etc. You're going to sit and water the same plants over and over again, wasting time and energy. The controls are a little weird. I play on keyboard and mouse, probably one of the very few games on PC that I will actually prioritize keyboard and mouse just because of the freedom that it allows me over controller, because controller just makes it so much harder to aim. Controls are a bit wonky. They were even more wonky on release, but he did patch up a little bit of it, so there's that to be thankful for, that he did fix a little bit of it. I don't even know what to go into now. We covered gameplay, we covered synopsis, we covered art style, we covered the music, we covered controls, covered writing. So I think that really leaves me with story, and the final point of this video is that the weakest part of this game and the biggest turnoff I have about it, that I warn people about, is that the story is very abrupt. And I do so mean that as in the ending of it. A lot of people were caught off guard, frankly, when this game ended, because it was like, it literally just happens, and then you're like, oh, it's over. And it's more or less not a good feeling. It's more or less of just like oh, well, that was a little anticlimactic. And I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end of the game. I'll let you guys figure that out on your own, and maybe you'll feel different about it. I'm not going to say that you won't enjoy it. It's just that the greater majority of people, myself included, when I got to the end, and that was on my first file, I disliked the way that it was handled and the way that the story was built up to this point, and then it was just like dropped off a cliff. So would I recommend this game to you? Are you into games like this? Are you into Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, some would say early Monster Rancher games? Are you into these types of games? If you are into these games, or even if you're like a Farmville player, like on the Facebook stuff, this is a game you want to pick up. This is a game that you want to pick up, and it will chew away your hours. However, if you are not interested in games like those at all, or even slightly, unfortunately, I would say pass on this title. It offers you nothing other than pretty much that. It offers you the farming experience. It offers you the relationship experience of being on that country life. It doesn't offer you huge combat combos and, you know, flourishes and all kinds of fancy shit. It doesn't offer you a ton of unlockables. There isn't, like, unlockables realistically, aside from achievements, there aren't a ton of them. There's several secrets in the game and Easter eggs, but I wouldn't feel that a cool little Easter egg of, say, Harvest Moon, for instance, would justify you paying $20 for this game. But if you are into those types of games, this is definitely a game you want to pick up. This is a game that you need to add to the top of your wish list on Steam and get it as soon as you have the funds to pay for it, because this is a game that you want to play. And trust me, it will eat away your hours more than you'll admit. Overall feelings on the game, I usually do this at the end of my videos. Or I don't usually do it at the end of my videos. I try to squeeze it in there for the people that come for the score. I usually don't like giving scores on things, but if I were to give Stardew Valley a score out of 10, I would give Stardew Valley an 8 out of 10. Because, brief breakdown of what the game is it feels like I want to play a Harvest Moon and Rune Factory style game without having to plug in my Wii. And I enjoy that. And that's pretty much what it gives me. It gives me that experience on PC with a bit indifferent controls that I don't exactly like, a story that's a little abrupt on the ending, but the game's feeling, music style, and just overall enjoyability of always having that next goal, always having that thing you want to do. The scheduling in this game drives you forward. It's, well, I just harvested all my radishes. Now I need to go buy seeds so I can plant those seeds, and then you need to plan ahead for what you're going to do during the time that they're growing. And then while they're growing, your pumpkins harvest. It's always about progressing forward. And before you know it, it's going to be winter of the end of your third year, and the game's basically going to be over, and your last 70 hours of your life is gone. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was probably one of my weirdest PentaPERSPECTIVEs I've ever done, because I get excited with this game. Like, this game really, really gets me wanting to play it. And, yeah, I Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I convinced you to either buy or not buy, or if you've already been playing this game and you just watched this to hear what my thoughts were on it, thank you. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this game, what your thoughts are on whether or not you want to play it. Have you played it? If you did play it, what would you say about it? All the kinds of friendly stuff that you want to put down there. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down just to let me know that you enjoyed it. It's my best way of letting me know that, or it's the best way to let me know that you did enjoy it, other than a comment. And if you don't want to like it, just comment and let me know. Dude, you're fucking awesome. And as always, subscribe to join the channel and join the hybrid and its ever-growing awesomeness. Until the next video, my name is PentaHybrid, and I will catch you later.